A Soviet cook was preparing food for soldiers. Suddenly, from a distance, a German tank was seen advancing toward him. The moment he realized it was the enemy, he immediately hid. But even though there was no clear target, the tank began firing shells indiscriminately. When the tank crashed into his field kitchen, all the food he had prepared was destroyed. That's when the cook completely lost his temper. Fueled by rage, he picked up an axe and charged straight toward the tank. Shouting at the top of his lungs, he began striking it again and again. The German soldiers were stunned and stayed hidden inside. They fired from the viewing port, but it was useless. The cook climbed directly onto the machine gun and began smashing it with his axe. Continuous firing had overheated the barrel, and he managed to bend it. The Germans then increased the tank's speed to knock him off, but he refused to let go. Next, he took off his apron and covered the tank's main viewing slit. He tore off his sleeves and blocked the remaining holes as well. The soldiers inside the tank were suddenly plunged into complete darkness. Out of control, the tank crashed into a tent. The cook cut through the fabric and made his way outside. Fearing the enemy might think he was alone, he deliberately made a lot of noise, swinging the axe, slamming it into the ground, and shouting as if an entire unit was present. Then he set dry grass on fire and threw it into the tank. The tank quickly filled with smoke. Inside, the German soldiers began coughing and panicking. At that moment, the cook shouted in broken German, "Throw down the anti-tank grenade!" Hearing this, all 4 soldiers lost their nerve. They opened the hatch and raised their hands in surrender. The cook immediately aimed his rifle and ordered them to drop their weapons. When they turned around, they were shocked. The man who had terrorized them wasn't a warrior or a soldier. He was just a cook. But by then, it was too late. Seeing their faces, the cook burst into laughter. Sometime later, when the remaining Soviet soldiers returned and saw the tank from afar, they panicked, dropped to the ground, and took cover. But when the commander peeked out, he saw the cook standing beside the tank, rifle in hand, shouting, "Come out, the food is ready." Everyone was stunned. When they finally realized he wasn't joking and came out, they discovered that he had captured 4 German soldiers and seized an entire tank without firing a single bullet. This was not a made-up story, but a thrilling incident that actually happened in real life.